So today I want to talk to you about choosing an instrument and helping your child choose an instrument. There are a lot of things that can go into your final decision, but really the most important thing I can tell you is to go with whatever the child is interested in. No matter what, even if it seems odd, even if it seems out of character, whatever the case may be, the important thing is if they like it, they're going to do it. And that's really what this is all about. You want them to feel good about their decision. Now, I know there are a lot of misconceptions about different instruments, but honestly, there is no such thing as a boy instrument or a girl instrument. I know world-renowned male flute players. I know world-renowned female tuba players. There's no such thing. And it really comes down to, again, what interests the student, what really gets them going. So here are a couple ways to find that out. So most of the time, when we're not doing as much distance learning, students will have an opportunity to go and try out different instruments. I remember when I was in 4th grade, we went into a room and there were all these different instruments that we could try out. I think I may remember playing trumpet, but I picked up the saxophone and yeah, it was pretty cool. And granted, a couple other of my friends were also getting into saxophone, so it was kind of a little bit of like, hey, I want to do what my friends are doing. But I still remember when we would get together and practice. You know, hey, look, I learned a new note today. Standing in front of the mirror all playing and playing Mary Had a Little Lamb because, hey, we learned 4 notes. And I'm the only one left who's still playing music, let alone at the professional level. And you never know. It could be your student that becomes the world-renowned player on whatever instrument it is. And you only get to that point if they're having fun. So another thing that I have done, and I've heard this a lot from my colleagues, they always had that aha moment that comes from watching somebody play or hearing somebody play. And yeah, that definitely happens. That absolutely happens. For me, when it came to conducting, I remember being young and going to concerts and just liking the idea of conducting. But I also remember that point during my last concert of senior year in high school. And I remember exactly where in the music it hit me that this is what I want to do. And you got to get to that moment. You really do. And you can't get to that moment unless you enjoy what you're doing. So I would say go to concerts. There's plenty of concerts on YouTube, and I'll put a link below of a whole list of videos that I use for my music appreciation classes when we look at all the different instruments, from piccolo down to the string bass. And I have found videos that show the instrument at its finest and playing music written specifically for that instrument, but I also have a video. Every instrument has a video of that instrument playing Flight of the Bumblebee. Again, from piccolo all the way down to bass. And you know, even the tuba is playing. I mean, it's incredible. So no matter what instrument is chosen, anything is possible on that instrument. So again, having your students sit down and watch and just hear how things go. Sometimes it's the way the instrument looks, sometimes it's the way it sounds, sometimes it's the way it's played. You never know what's going to interest them, but the important thing is they have a chance to check it out and they get an idea and they get excited about it. Okay, so I always try to put in some warnings. There are times where you will be in a band, especially those younger bands, where there are a lot of flutes and a lot of clarinets. There's just sometimes what seems like too many. So a band director might start to go around and ask students, hey, would you be interested in trying a tuba or a different instrument because we need these instruments? Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Here's my note to you as the parents. Yes, you've invested in, let's say, the clarinet, and the child likes the clarinet. Cool. Don't let them feel like they are obligated for the betterment of the band to switch instruments. If the teacher comes up and says, hey, we could use a tuba player. Would you be interested in switching? It's up to the student. If it's not a big concern to them, clarinet, tuba, hey, as long as I'm in the band, fine. I have a friend of mine who was a great flute player, and there was an opening for a tuba player in the upper band, and she just wanted to get into that upper band. So she said, hey, I'm going to pick up tuba. And she picked up tuba, and within, I think, about the next year, she was playing up in the upper band. So it worked. I myself came up as a saxophone player, but when I went to my undergrad, I went to the director and I said, look, I don't want to be a saxophonist in marching band. I want to try something else. What do you need? I'll do trumpet, euphonium, in this case it's called a baritone, tuba, whatever you need. And he said, well, we need some baritones. I said, you got a new baritone player. And I picked up the baritone and started playing it right away. And it was really, really cool. And so I got to be on both sides, on the woodwind side and on the low brass side. But the thing to remember is let the student decide. Let them lead the way, let them have their say, and go with what they like, because if they don't like it, they're out. Even worse, resent it. And we definitely don't want that. We want them to have fun with all this. Thank you again for stopping by and for all your great comments and questions. Remember to please subscribe to the channel and then hit that bell so that you get notifications on when our next videos come up. And of course, share with your friends. The more people that know about this, the more we can get people involved with the arts and all these great students coming up, and we can have all these fun musical activities to share. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.